The Chargers are the opposite. They've got the most important part of this league. Quarterback 1, coach 2. And they're both going to be there for as long as they want to. Foreseeable future, decade if they want. Harbaugh may retire, 8, 9. Jim's got great energy. They just can't keep anybody healthy for any extended period. So as I watched last night, 1,000 out of 1,000 times, I would take the Chargers situation. They're making Justin Herbert throw more than any quarterback in the league because that's what they have right now. And slowly but surely, Joe Alt came back and they were good. But the Chargers know the truth in this league is that Joe Burrow got to a Super Bowl with a bad O-line. Justin Herbert doesn't need both tackles. He won't have Slater this year. Just give him Joe Alt, and they can blow out anybody at any time. And here is Jim Harbaugh after the win.
Joe makes a huge difference. He's a great player. And I would say, you know, in his leadership, getting eight healthy guys out there is, you know, been a challenge. And but I think we're going to be better for it. I know that because we're going to have guys that are battle tested.
Just to give you a sense, I've always said, once you get your head coach, quarterback's the most important person. Left tackle is next, then a pass rusher. Look at this. Joe Alt's impact on the Chargers. When he's on the field, they're 4-0 if he starts and finishes a game, and Herbert is a Pro Bowler. When he's not, Herbert is okay and throwing 55 times a game with a passer rating in the 80s. So quarterback, left tackle, somebody to rush the passer, and a weapon or two. It's just that the Chargers have struggled outside of the quarterback and the coach to have anybody available on Thursdays or Sundays or Mondays. They did last night, and look how easy it looks.
Yep. It's so funny people trying to downplay this win and this game and the Chargers. I done, you know, the First Things First and Nick Wright clip, you know, yesterday, and, you know, just typical, you know, downplaying of the Chargers and Herbert and saying, oh, they can't win if Herbert has to throw the ball a lot. Like, just weird stuff. But, you know, I love how Colin highlights this. And it's just like, you know, I'm happy he did this, but it's like surprise, surprise. Like, you need to protect your quarterback when you actually have a quarterback who can protect you. You need to protect your quarterback when you have someone who can actually protect your quarterback. You have way more success. Like, no way. The reality is the Chargers would easily, if they were actually healthy, they would easily be an elite top team in the NFL. Easily. It wouldn't even be remotely up for debate. Now we enter the arena when people are kind of in now the lineups and, you know, injuries, etc., you know, whether it's Alt, Slater, Najee Harris, you know, whatever it may be, it's just everyone's on the fly now. And so now you kind of just start to get all different variations of what this team potentially can or can't be. But to me, it's just very clear. And so it is funny. Like, just think about this. The Chiefs in the first few weeks struggled mightily, significantly. Okay. The Denver Broncos were able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Jackson Dart and the New York Giants rolled the Philadelphia Eagles. The Kansas City Chiefs couldn't. No, they couldn't. You know, so that what does that mean? It means that when you're not full strength, when you're missing receivers, and when you're missing this and that, you're vulnerable. It's hard to win. And the Chargers are able to win and look great in the beginning of the season. And they already were dealing with injuries going into this season. From the jump, week 1, we're already not healthy. And we're still looking great. Now the injuries really start to legitimately pile up. And people are just like, what's wrong with this Chargers? Chargers charging. I told you Chargers aren't really that good. And it's just like, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? And it continues to be crazy to me. But what's really frustrating is that I know so deeply what the Chargers, and Justin Herbert for that matter, are capable of achieving, but they just haven't been able to have the luxury of health, of being able to put it together. And that's frustrating. Because this isn't another situation like I look at the Broncos offense, for instance, and think to myself, like, all the pieces are there. They haven't brought it together. They haven't, you're like, why have they not put this thing together? The Baltimore Ravens, before Lamar got injured and all that type of stuff, I'm looking at that offense and I'm looking at some of these key moments and I'm just like, how are they still failing to really integrate Derrick Henry? Like, why does Derrick Henry still feel like an add-on rather than firmly integrated in, and him and Lamar are feeding off of one another in a very complementary way? How we saw Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley feeding off of one another. Like, why is at this point are we still not quite seeing that, especially in crucial moments, right? What's missing here? And I can go on and on about, all these other various teams. And it's just like, that's not the case that you have with Herbert and the Chargers, where you're just like, you're not playing your best right now, but like, and you're trying to figure out all of this, that. It's just strictly health. It really is. It's just strictly their inability to be able to like protect Justin Herbert. And now I do think that there's been a somewhat realization of Justin Herbert, because like, let's be clear here. It's not like Justin Herbert was significantly protected in this game either. He was pressured a ton. So it's not like you add in all, and now it's like, oh, he had all day now. Like, it helped with the run game significantly, and it helped, obviously, right? No, not downplaying that at all. Like, it obviously is going to have a major impact. But, like, Justin Herbert was still pressured at an incredibly high rate. And I think he's now doing a little bit, I think he now understands a little bit more, you know what? I'm going to also run more. I'm going to make things a little bit easier for our offense in those moments, and just, get the positive yards when I can. That's what impressed me more than anything. I still want to see him protect his body more, but, he just, he'll do what he wants to do. I thought the defense, again, a lot of people want to point out to Carson Wentz, he's not that good, this or that. The defense was suffocating. The defense was absolutely suffocating. I mean, there was honestly, like, again, Carson didn't play the best game, but there was just there was nowhere for him to move, to breathe. It was suffocating. That was brilliant to see. Absolutely brilliant. There was just no opportunities, not for a second. And make no mistake about it, the defense for the Vikings is great. It really is. It took the heroics of Jalen Hurts and some big time plays to be able to have the performance that they had. It wasn't an easy day for Jalen and that Philadelphia Eagles offense. This felt easier. Like, again, just look at Justin Herbert moving and running. Like, he took what the defense was giving him in those moments, and he had a couple interesting scrambles at times, which again, you're just like, is this guy about to just get crushed right now? But some of his other more prominent runs that really added the bulk of his yards, it was just like smart, decisive running. It was just like, this is what the defense is giving me. Like, it felt easy. It felt easy. This offense, there was a couple stretches where things felt kind of, a little bit more difficult than you would want, which is fine. You're not going to just have a start to finish perfect, easy game. But like, there were many moments where things just felt easy. They just felt easy. And it was just really impressive to see. It was really, really impressive to see. Again, not perfect. I'd like to see Justin Herbert play even better, because I believe him to be even a better quarterback than what he showed in that game alone. Specifically with some of the decision making and some of the potential for interceptions. I would just, I expect higher quality decision making from Herbert at this point. But again, I understand when you're being pressured and you're getting hit nonstop, like, those things are going to happen. Again, we saw it from Justin Herbert last season, and we saw it from Sam Darnold, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar. We things get disrupted. When you disrupt a quarterback, you kind of disrupt everything from the head down, right? From the brain down, from the mind down. It's been a long day, but yeah, it's I just hope the Chargers can start to continue to show what I believe so many Chargers fans really believe, that this team and Herbert and Harbaugh, etc., are capable of achieving, that they're capable of doing. There's so many times that you have to just be like, I'm telling you, it's there. I'm telling you, it's there. And there's like, oh yeah, prove it, right? It's in a nutshell, it's the argument of people saying, Justin Herbert's an elite quarterback, and they're like, yeah, what's his playoff record? And you're just like, it's obnoxious that that's even a comeback that even has any type of validity to it. I reject that argument wholeheartedly, but it is still some fuel for that fire, no doubt. And you just want to see the Chargers be able to put some of those demons to rest, and when they finally now have the right team, the right coaching staff in place, when we can finally say, hey, there were problems in the previous years because, the coaching was terrible, the roster wasn't good enough, etc. Now they have the pieces, they have the coaching staff, they have everything together. But now they're just dealing with some health issues. And so, and we've gotten the glimpses of like, dude, this could be special. This is it. We're not even going to see the healthiest version of this team for the whole season. It's not possible because of some of the injuries that were done. And yet we've still seen moments when you're just like, that's legit. That's for real. That's special. That's Justin Herbert. That's Harbaugh. And that is the San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers. And so you're just right there. There's nothing to unlock. That's my point. There's nothing to unlock. It's all there. It's just health. You can make the argument that the Eagles need to be unlocked. The Broncos offense specifically needs to be unlocked, right? Like you can go through some of these teams that are like, they need to figure stuff out. They don't need to figure out anything with the Chargers. It's all there. We've seen it. It's there. And I don't doubt that the consistency can be there either. It's just health. That's all it is. It's just health. So just be healthy, man. Just be healthy. Go wherever you got to go. Okay? Go to San Diego. Go to LA. Go to Santa Barbara. I don't know. Just be healthy. You gotta just be healthy. Just be healthy, please. So we can watch high quality Chargers football. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Chargers win over the Vikings? Do you feel this is kind of like a turning page for them, or do you think it was just a game? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.